Hi, this is Bill Hitchcock, and now I'm going to work with Raptor and take our concepts about working with loops and random numbers and try to write a real simple little game. And the simple game is just a number guessing game. In other words, if I think of a number between 1 and 10, you have to guess what that number is. I'll count how many times, how many guesses you make, and so on. So we can, we'll start real simple with this game, and then we'll keep building onto it, building onto it, building onto it, and see what we can do. So let's take our new program here and we'll save it, and we'll call this our guessing game. And this time we're going to introduce a new tool. So far we've done the assignments, we've done inputs, outputs, selections, we've done loops. Now we've got this thing called a call, and this allows me to do different modules, and it helps to keep the programming a little bit easier. The whole concept of modular programming was a big breakthrough back in probably the 1960s to get different people working on different parts of a program. So first what we'll do is we'll do a little output. We're going to have our, if you will, a splash screen, and just say welcome to the number guessing game. Save it, run it. Sure enough, it says welcome to the number guessing game. And then we're going to ask the user, would you like to play? And we'll call this play game. And we'll put a loop in here. And we're going to take this, would you like to play the game? I'm going to put that right inside my loop. So we welcome to the number guessing game. Would you like to play the game? And we'll put for my condition, if play game equals quote n. We'll make it lowercase. If they don't want to play the game, if that's true, in other words, yes, that's true, it is an n, then I just want to say thank you, goodbye. And we'll put that outside of our loop. So that's how we escape. Thank you, goodbye. But if play game isn't an n, in other words, yeah, they do want to play it, it's a y or something like that, then we want to come into here and we're going to start our module and let them play the game. So it says enter a procedure call. Wait for the mouse button, open the graph. We're going to call this play underscore the underscore game. And it says, do I want to create a new tab? Yes, I do. And here we are, play the game. So we'll put an output and say something like, this is the number guessing game. I'll think of a number and you have to guess what it is. All right, so that's my play the game. So if I go back to the main, that's kind of the whole process. All right, so let's save this, give it a try. We've got our welcome to the number guessing game. Would you like to play? No, I don't want to. And we just got thank you, goodbye, and the game's over. If I run it again, would you like to play? Why, yes, I would. And it says it's a number guessing game. I'll think of a number, you have to guess what it is. Would you like to play? Why, yes, I would. And it's just going to keep on doing that over and over until finally I say, no, I don't want to. All right, well, so there's not a whole lot to the game yet, but at least we've got some things. All right, here's something that could cause a potential problem. If we run this, would you like to play? Yes, I would. and it says it's a number guessing game. I'll think of a number. Do you want to play? Yes, I would. And it's going to keep doing this over and over and over again until I say, no, I don't want to. And when I type in no, it just gives me, this is a number guessing game. Do you want to play? No. Do you want to play? No. No. No, I don't. It just keeps me in this loop until I'm smart enough to type in a letter N, and then finally I can do the thank you and goodbye. So, because of that, you don't really want to aggravate users, and we want to put something in here. So we're going to ask, do you want to play the game? We'll check if it equals an N. If it doesn't equal an N, then we want to check for something else. So I'm going to put a selection in here, and we'll check to see if play game equals lowercase y. If it does equal yes, I'm going to play the game, so I move that in here. But if it's not a lowercase n, if it's not a lowercase y, then I want to give them a error message that says, sorry, you have to enter in a y or n. So we'll do an output here and say, sorry, you must enter y or n. And we should tell that in our prompt. Would you like to play, put in parentheses, enter y or n. So that way they know what to type in. They know it's not an uppercase y, a lowercase y, all the rest of those kinds of things. So now when we run this, do you want to play? Maybe. And it tells me, sorry, you must enter y or n. Do you want to play? Yes, I do. Sorry, you enter y or n. Do I want to play? No, I don't. Sorry, it's y or n. Yes, I do. I'll type a y. This is the number guessing game. I'll think of a number. You have to see what it is. No, I don't want to play the game. Thank you. Goodbye. All right, so that works out a little bit better. So think about that. Think about, we refer to that as error trapping in programming. You always want to, be kind of nice to the users. Make sure that they have some idea about what valid entries is and what would be invalid. All right, well, now we got to actually do something about play the game. We're going to think of a number and you have to guess what it is. So to come up with a number, I'm going to use an assignment clause, and we're going to call it, how if we call it the rand, or we'll call it the computer num, just for something different. And I'm going to set this equal to random times 10. Now if I do it random times 10, it's going to take a random number 0 to 0.99999, multiply it by 10. I'm going to have a decimal on that. So really what I want to do is I need to round that off. So I'm going to put the ceiling function around this. So I type in ceiling and get my random number. Now keep in mind, this isn't really going to be that secret because it's going to show up here on the left hand side, but still we've got it. So we'll tell them the computer has generated a random number between 1 and 10. So now I want to put a loop in, and I want the user to guess the number until they guess what it is. So they need an input, and we'll say, what do you think the number is? And we'll call this the user guess, or the user number. So my condition is if the user guess is equal to the computer num. If that's true, then we want to tell them quote, you guessed correctly. The number was, and then we'll just spit it back out to them, computer num. And I'll put a period at the end of that sentence. But if they didn't guess it, we want to tell them, nope, sorry, that's not right. And we'll say, sorry, your guess of, and we'll tell them what their guess was, user guess, was not correct. Please try again. All right, let's save this. And let's go back to main here. Run the program. And it gives me the welcome to the number guessing game. Would you like to play? Why? Yes, I would. So I'll type in a Y. And it says the computer has generated a random number between 1 and 10. What do you think the number is? I think the number is 5. And my guess of 5 is not correct. Please try again. I think it's 6. Nope, that's not right. I think it's 7. I think it's 3. I think it's 2. I think it's 9. I think it's 10. I think it's 1. Finally, I get it. I guessed the number correctly. It was 1. So, do I want to try again? Yes, I do. Computer's generated a number between 1 and 10. What do you think it is? I think it's a 1. Sorry, 1's not right. I think it's 2. That's not right. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The number was 9. That worked. All right, so this game works all right. And certainly I could look over here and see that the computer number is 9 and put that in. But what would be a little bit nicer is if we told the user if the number was too high or too low. So I'm all done playing this one. We've got our guessing game. Let's save that. Let's save a new copy of it and call it Guessing Game 2. And here I'm going to go to play the game, and we'll tell them if their guess was too high or too low. So first we check out to see if the user, what they think it is. We got the user guess if it's that. So I need a selection in here. So if the user guess is less than the computer num. If that's true, I want to tell them quote, sorry, your guess of user guess is too low. Please try again. But if the user guess is not equal to it, if it's not less than, then it means that it must be greater than. So I'm going to take this guess, put that up here, and edit this line and say, sorry, your guess of user guess was, not only was it not correct, it was too high. And please try again. So the user guess in that case it's not less than, so therefore it must be this. Let's try this out. And we'll run it. Do you want to play the game? Yes, I do. Computers generate a random number between 1 and 10, so that looks good. We've got that. I want to guess my number is 1. And it says, sorry, the guess is too low. Please try it again. All right, we'll guess if it's 3. It's still too low. Do I think a number is, I think it's 7. That's too high. I think it's 6. That's too high. I think it's 5. And yes, you're right, the number was 5. So we'll try this again and hit yes. Computers generate a random number between 1 and 10. Let's guess 5 right off the bat. Nope, that's too high, so therefore I'm going to cut this in half. I'll try a 3. That's too high. It's either 1 or 2. I'll try a 1. Yes, the number was 1. We'll run this again. What do I think the number is? I think it was 5. It's too high. I'm guessing it's 3. Yes, I guessed correctly, so I was able to do that. We can run this again. What do I think the number is? I think it's 5. And this time it's too low, so I think it's 7. It's still too low. I think it's either 8, 9, or 10. I'll guess it's 9. And yes, the number was 9, and that works out. So we can try this over and over again. So that's how you can make up simple number guessing games. Other things that you could do with this is you could count up how many how many games they play. We could count up how many times they guess. All those using counter variables and accumulators, that sort of thing. But for the most part, hopefully this will get you started with doing a fairly simple game, but it does demonstrate the idea of modular programming where we've got a main routine, we've got a play the game routine, helps us split this up a little bit nicer, and we've got just about everything else put in here. We've got some sequential code, we've got decisions made in here, we've got loops going on in here, so it really tests out your programming abilities.